actually here, Haru and Yuki's mom. Welcome to Haru and Yuki's Bun's YouTube channel. Once again, I want to thank you guys for continuing to watch and subscribe and like and comment on my videos and our YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on one of my highly requested how do you bond rabbits and how do you bond two male rabbits. So I have two male bunnies, as you guys know. Haru and Yuki are both guys. They get along great. They've never fought once in their life. You know, they sometimes Haru will pick on Yuki and steal his treat and run away with it, but you know, that's avoidable if I watch them correctly. So yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about this. It's a highly requested topic from our Instagram fans and followers. So first I want to start off, you know, where do you get your new bunny? Now this could be, obviously the best pair is a guy and a girl because they're like soulmates, a couple, love forever. You can also do a girl and a girl. And you can also do two guys. Now, when I got my bunnies, the breeder didn't tell me that Haru and Yuki were going to fight when they get older. I bring them to the vets to get their first checkup, and the vet's like, oh, I hope you're putting them in separate cages. You know, they're gonna fight. Don't let them near each other. It's bad. And so many people have told me, you know, the guy bunnies together, they're going to fight. So, you know, I was a little worried. I'm like, oh, but I don't want to get rid of any of them, and I want them to be free roaming eventually, and I want them to play together. And you know what? I fought it out. I went against everyone else's words, and it worked. So, bite me. Sorry, I tend to want to be revengeful at times. So yeah, like, people have been non-stop saying, no, you can't have two guys bunnies. And anything I read online, no, you can't have two guys bunnies. Well, I'm here to be that myth breaker. It is not factual. It is definitely possible to have two male bunnies coexisting. I've actually seen 2 or 3 other Instagram accounts. It just happens to be a little bit rare. And I'm going to share with you my experience on bonding them. Now, first off, I want to say that Haru and Yuki are half-brothers. Now, by what I mean by this is they did not come from the same litter. They came from the same father but a different mother. They are a week apart, so Yuki is younger than Haru, and they also came from the same breeder here in the Netherlands. I forgot it was called Bunschoter or something. Correct me if I'm saying it wrong, all my fellow Dutch YouTube listeners and Instagrammers. But yeah, you know, she only had guy bunnies left. I guess her girl bunnies went really fast, or they didn't have any at the time. And they were like the size of my mouse. Yuki was a little bit smaller. Actually, no. Yuki was the size of my mouse, and Haru was probably a little bit the size of my phone here. And so they were mixed in with a bunch of other different breeds, like someone that had a curly hair. I don't know really what that breed is called. Some mini Rex rabbits, regular Rex, the Holland Lops. There were some lion head dwarfs. There were a whole bunch, and there were just this bunch of babies. And I really wanted a Netherlands dwarf because I've seen, you know, pictures, and they've got these big eyes and these little ears, and they're just round and they're really cute. and they were perfect for my lifestyle because I liked compact animals. I mean, my dog is a Boston Terrier at my family's house, and he's very compact. Well, he was supposed to be compact. He's actually bigger than any other Boston Terrier I've ever met. He's actually the size of a French bulldog. But you know, he was supposed to be small originally. And so if you are planning to get a second bunny, you know, adopt not shop like I did. I wasn't aware that you could really adopt without having an animal that had major problems, or yeah, had some kind of fungus or some disease, or you know, behavior issues. But it is possible. You know, I now volunteer at the local animal shelter here in Mirboute, which is maybe a half an hour to 25-minute bus ride from where I am in Almere. And so I've definitely have gotten the bunnies there to trust me, to like me. Some of them do have problems, like there's this cute little black one that's a lion head and its nose is, you know, ripped. Some of them have head tilts, some of them have some eye stuff going on, but there's definitely some there that don't. And you know what? I love every single one of them all the same, no matter what. They are all amazing. Each and every single one of them. They're just scared and they need love and they need a home. So if you are in the Netherlands and you can afford to have another bunny in your life, definitely get one from that shelter because they take really well care of them. I had to educate them on the matter to not give them bread. They thought bread was okay to give bunnies, which it isn't. It's all processed and crap in it, and grain. That type of grain is not good for them. You can, if you do happen to get one from a pet store, you know, ask lots of questions, like what's the bunny's background, make sure they're not abusing them, you know. Definitely adopting a bunny is better, and it's more rewarding in the end. And I did not adopt mine, but I did kind of save them because they were in this crappy environment. The cage was this big, there was 10 little bunnies in there. All of them were bigger than Haru and Yuki because they were Holland Lops and Rex bunnies. They were a lot bigger than them by far. These little things in there were cute next to these little giants that were also cute. Off with play dates. So if you do find a bunny that is at a shelter, breeder, wherever, you know, ask and get a play date for your bunny, because your current bunny and the bunny that you want to get may not work out because they don't have personalities that combine together. See, Haru is more dominant and he's definitely the alpha male of my bunnies. Yuki, he's more shy and very submissive, and he lets Haru take the lead, and you need that kind of relationship to work. Even in human relationships, two dominant people are going to butt heads. You know, it's just not going to work. So definitely, you know, get them into a play date session. It needs to be non-territorial, where no bunny has ever been. You know, set up an X pen or like just a blank room that they can't do anything, and you know, supervise these visits. Do it maybe for an hour, because it can be stressful. You don't want to do it too long, you know. Bring in treats to, you know, help it, lettuce or some kind of fresh fruit or vegetable. You can also, when you do get them home and you feel that worked out okay, they weren't too bad, you know, they seem to have some things that they still have to work on, you know, start them out with side-by-side cages. And what I mean by this is place their cages next to each other that they can still, you know, touch noses, they can still smell each other, they can still sleep next to each other. And you can do this with your regular cages, an X-pen divider, something that they can kind of like, you know, touch paws and say, hey, you know, I might like you. Another way that definitely worked well for Haru and Yuki was stress bonding. So what I mean by stress bonding is taking your bunnies on a car ride. For some bunnies, car rides can be scary, and you know, having them in the same crate or just sitting in the back seat together on a towel or some type of blanket, you know, they might eventually cuddle up and get some kind of affection from it. Another thing is bringing them to vets together. Now, always bring your bunnies together to the vets. If you have like 17 bunnies, you know, I don't recommend that. You know, bring the pairs, you know, the couples together. So if you're trying to bond these two bunnies, you know, bring them together to the vets. Now, a very important thing when you're at the vets is, you know, get them vaccinated together, get them having a regular health screening together, get them to have their nails cut together, having neutering and spading done together, which is a must for this relationship of your two new bunnies to work, especially males, and especially, you know what, I'm not even gonna say it, just all bunnies need to be neutered and spaded, because guys, they can tend to get kind of aggressive later on. They can mark your house. You'll never be able to litter train them if you do not get them neutered, because they're working against nature, you know. They're trying to mark what's theirs, and guy bunnies will mark each other. When Haru was going through puberty, he actually marked Yuki. He peed right on his head. Right on his head. My little white bunny had this yellow pee stain on his head, which led to a little mini bath session of me dry cleaning him, kind of. Yeah. When they grew up, it was a little bit stressful. They also had explosive diarrhea when I tried to change their food on them. That's why we still continue to get the same food, which I hope the manufacturer never stops making that food, because we'll be screwed. So also, putting them in a bathtub together or a large bin that has high sides. You know, you can also, don't turn the bathtub on, don't put any water in the bathtub, just put a towel on the ground so they have extra grip, or a blanket on the bottom of the bathtub, and let them, you know, hang out there. That's a place that's kind of scary. You can even amplify a little bit of the stress by turning on your sink faucet, or if you have a shower that is outside of that area, turn on that, you know, let them, the sound will kind of scare them a little bit. And if you really notice your rabbits are having like heart attacks, you know, obviously stop. It's too much stress for them, especially older rabbits. It's just not going to work. So the next thing I really want to talk about is to promote sharing. So what I mean by this is to have them chew on the same toys together, to get out of the same food dish bowl. It will help them learn how to be in the same space together without saying, you know, hey, this is my territory, no, this is my territory. But also, I want to promote personal space. And what I mean by this is to, like, you know, not all the time does your bunnies want to cuddle up against each other. Sometimes, you know, they, one of them is hungry, the other one is not. One of them wants to be in the Heidi house, and the other one wants to be somewhere else, maybe in the litter box. So, you know, have them share, but also have their personal space, because I know as a person, I don't want to be uptight next to someone. But I also would like to share. This right here is what I call the no-no spray. And this is the only safe way to discipline your bunny besides saying no. So this is just filled with plain old tap water, and it also works with cats and sometimes dogs. You know, if your bunny is chewing on something, if they are trying to attack each other or pee or anything that you don't want them to do, you know, spray them with this. Sometimes all it takes is one spray. Haru takes 1 to 5 sprays because he's very persistent, and like I told you, he's the dominant bunny. Yuki, I only have to shake it. Sometimes Haru, I only have to shake it. He only has to hear the sound of the water. Oh, I'm getting water on me. To know, you know, I'm doing bad. And Haru is my little stinker bun. I will get the spray bottle and he'll turn around and whatever he was chewing that wasn't okay, and he'll pretend, oh, mommy didn't see me, I'm gonna chew on this toy though. You know, and he's a little stinker. And bunnies have a really short memory, and they will forget that they did something wrong, or they will associate the wrong thing that they were doing with something else. So you need to really catch them and get it right when it happens. And I know sometimes this is hard, so if you can't do it that way, you know, remove them from the situation, separate them again, and sometimes a timeout. Other ways that I have done discipline for my bunnies is, you know, you have to say no Haru, no Yuki, and don't use a really loud voice, don't scream. You need to use the voice, you know, that I'm using right now. No. Make sure they can hear it in your voice without you being mean, because bunnies can be very skittish. They can get really scared very easily, and if you're too lenient with them, they'll also be like, ha ha ha, I'm okay, I'm gonna do whatever I want, mommy doesn't care, or daddy doesn't care. And you don't want that to happen, because they will literally walk all over you. I know, because I have been and still am a bunny slave. Another way that I have disciplined my bunnies is putting them in their to-go crate and locking them in there for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. Let them hash it out, you know, pick him up, put him in there. If he still continues to do it after I spray him and say no, or take him away from the area, you know, give him a different toy to play with instead, to chew on it, you know, surround it. It works for the most part. Sometimes with Haru, all I have to do is pick him up and go, what are you doing? Are you being a bad boy? And he just kind of goes, I didn't do it, Mom, I didn't do it. And then he gives you kisses because he's all apologetic. That may not work for your bunny. I know it does not work for Yuki. Yuki would be terrified if I did that. So that option for me only works with Haru. And so I do not recommend that, trying that at all. It just happens to work for Haru, and each bunny is different. You will eventually find your own way to discipline your bunny. You will figure out what you can add a little more on, if you can raise your voice a little higher with certain bunnies and certain personalities of that bunny. Anyways, you guys, I hope this video was really informative for you all. If you continue to have any questions or comments, you know, write it down below or PM me on Instagram. I'm always have a phone in my pocket, always. Actually, look, isn't this lovely? Haru decided to drag my phone across the room and broke it in half. So thanks everyone for watching the video. Like, subscribe, and comment. Are you boys being good? Mr. Yuki, are you taking a nap? Haru, grooming yourself? Oh, make sure you get right under that armpit. There you go. Oh, he wants some grooming too. You want some grooming too? Here, Mama will groom you. She'll pet you. Ooh. Here you go, see? Now Haru's giving you some... Aw, this bunny wants attention too. Pet, pet. Pet, pet. Yeah. She loves her little boys, doesn't she? Oh. You guys are such good boys, huh? You guys love each other so much, don't you? How sweet. Oh, are you gonna really chew on the toy at the same time you're getting your hair done by Yuki? Wow, Yuki, he's so disrespectful. Yuki, what do you say to that? What evil? Oh, dear Yuki. Ooh, that's so sweet, huh? Oh, don't you? Okay.